So let's get started with another logo that we will draw out in Illustrator and then animate in After Effects. So the next one we'll do is this YouTube logo. So let's get started in Illustrator. Let's start by just creating a blank document, or excuse me, we'll start by making a blank film and video document. Let's do HCTV 1080. It'll match up to our After Effects composition. Hit Control minus to zoom out just a little bit here. And I'll begin by placing in that logo. So I have that as a guide. Let me hold down my Shift key and scale that up just a little bit so I can get about how I want that to be. That looks good. And in my layers panel, I'm going to lock that down and create a new layer that I'm going to be working on top of. So I'm going to start with just the text. So let me click here and I'll type YouTube. I'll hit Control A to select that. Let me go over to Properties. And for this YouTube, I have a font called Trade Gothic LT Standard Bold. Hit, and you can have that available to download. And let's make that scale up here. And let's get that about the right size. I'm going to go ahead and do the text in InDesign because I'm not going to use a text animation preset like I did before. Let's select that and change the fill color more to the gray color that we had before. So we're going to choose that gray. One of the things you will notice on the YouTube logo is that the T overlaps the U. That's not a mistake. To get that effect, I have to use something called kerning, and you'll see that in here under your character. If you don't have that, go up to Window and go to down here to Text, or excuse me, Type, and bring up Character. And that'll bring up this panel here if you don't see that. And you can actually go in here and highlight these two letters and change this here, this kerning. Alright, let's see if I can put a in between here. And I can actually bring that down until that T overlaps that U. So that's just a subtle thing, but just so you can kind of see, there's some thoughts that go into laying out these letters more than what you might normally do. I'm going to zoom in with Control Plus. I'm going to make this shape next. To do that, I'm going to make a new layer here to contain the shape of my play symbol. And I'll just start with the pen tool. And I'm just going to go around, do a curve here, a curve in the middle. Try and keep those handlebars straight. A curve on this end, curve in the middle. And just following around. There's a little bit of a curve there in the middle you'll have to get each time as you're going along. Kind of drag along the edge and then finally click back on the last one. If you need to do some adjusting on your points, grab your white arrow pointer and you can maybe adjust those paths a little bit, or stretch the handlebars how you want to get that set up to that shape. I think this can probably come back down just a little bit there. And obviously I want that to be red. One of the things I can do is pick up the red that's from here. So if I click on this shape and grab the eyedropper and then click on this red, it'll match that color that's over there. Okay, let me move that out of the way. Grab my pen tool again and draw another shape for the triangle of the play button, and we want that to be white. I'm not animating those separately, so those two shapes can stay on the same layer together. I'm going to go into my layers panel and just get rid of, by deleting that layer that has the example on it, Control 0 so I can see the whole thing, and this is where I will begin. So let's save this and let's call it YouTube. I already have one in there, so I'll overwrite that and hit yes. Click on OK, and let's go into InDesign. Once I'm in a new project in InDesign, I'll go and import that file. There's my YouTube. I want it to be imported as a composition, retaining my layer sizes, and hit import. Everything's set up now, and I have one of these already, so let me just double click on the one that I have. And let's see here. That's what that should look like. Hitting Control plus and Control minus to zoom in. Alright, I have my different layers here. You can see that I can turn those on and off. And what I want to do is I want these to come together in the center. So I'm going to go up to Window and choose Turn on Align. And that will bring up this Align panel that's down here. Let's select both of these. I'm going to align them both to the middle and both to the center. Just like that. So now I have them in the middle, and that's where I want to begin. So we're going to start with the text. So I'm going to turn off that layer so I can see it. And we're going to begin by scaling the position. So I'm just going to press P on my keyboard, and I want this, Control Z, I want to change the up and down. I want this to start up here. Let me go back. Let's do this. Let me go out to 1 frame. Let me hit my stopwatch, because that's where I want it to end up, and come back here, and now let's move that up to where I want it to start. I also want it to fade in, so that's opacity. Because I already have position open, hold down my shift key and hit T for opacity. Again, let's come back out to this frame here and set my stopwatch, and then come back to the beginning, and I'm going to just type in 0 there. So this is going to just come in and fade in just like that. Now for my play button, I want it to fade up. I want it to scale up, fade up, and also rotate up as it's coming in. So I want each of those. If I come into layer 3, I want to hit S for scale, holding down my shift key. Let's bring that back. S for scale, shift key position, and shift R. Now I just have those properties that I'm going to work with. Let's go out to 2 and set keyframes for each of these, and then come back and let's see what we want to do. We want this thing to scale up. So under scale, I want this thing to get smaller. I also want to turn its, whoops, I need opacity too. So let's hit Shift T. And let's come out here and set a keyframe. We want that to be 100% there. And back to here, let's set that to 0. So now it's going to fade up and scale. Yeah, I didn't actually need position. Okay, so rotate. I'm going to have it rotate. And from here, I'm going to set this to 300, almost 360. So it's going to do a full rotation. I can actually type in 359 here. Alright. Alright. And that's kind of slow. You could maybe think about taking these keyframes and moving them all so it's a little bit quicker. I like that better. Let's turn this other layer back on. We've got the YouTube sliding in and that. And then what I want to do is have them just spread apart into the logo. So let's go back down to layer 2 and let's work on position. So I've got this position here. Now if I click on the stopwatch for position, it's going to delete all these keyframes. So what I want to do here is just simply make an adjustment here. So I want this to slide over. Nope. This to slide this way. Alright. Good. There's a keyframe there. And out to 2, I want that to end up over here. Alright, there's a little wiggle in there. We'll take care of that at the end. Alright, so the last piece here is to make the YouTube logo slide over. The play button should slide to here. Alright, so that is where my position is going to come in right there. Let's take it out to 2, and I want that to slide the other way. Let's go with the X coordinate here. And that's where I want that to be. So let's take a look at that. That's going to slide. Alright, so let's see what we have so far. Comes in, slides, and there's a little wiggle in there I want to take care of. To do that, you can look at this motion tween that's in there. I'm going to hit Control plus to zoom in, and there it is right there. If I come in here, just grab that guy, I'm going to be able to see, let me see here. Should be able to get these points in here. There's one point. Let's see if I've got little handlebars in here that I can shrink down. That'll control that. Let's grab this handlebar and put that up here. Let's see, try and keep that straight. Let's get rid of those little handlebars, keep those lines straight. We should be able to get that contained. There it is. Alright. Control minus to zoom back out. That looks pretty good. And that's where I want it to end up. And I can come in here at the end and we can easy ease these. Make this go a little bit smoother. And this can be easy eased as well. Alright, here we go. Absolutely. Okay, that's the second one. Good luck.